fear, a lot of people feel fear, but very often is an irrational fear. Okay, so you walk into a networking event. There are no lions or wolves or bears that are going to eat you. Okay, first.
You're not going to die.
Okay, you don't walk into, say, a reunion or criminals of drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people in there will be in similar situation to you. Some people might have lots of self-confidence, which in my case comes in a lot of situations like this, having gone through a lot of situations like this. But even myself, I feel pretty self-confident. First time I walk into a networking event, I don't know. I look around and say, what's going on here? Mm. However, there are a few things to rationalize. So start to analyzing, ask yourself a question. What is the worst that can happen? Okay, the worst can happen is I walk into a place and nobody talks to me. Okay, fine. Maybe that's not a nice networking environment, first. Second is, the worst can happen, say nobody's going to abuse you. Nobody, in my experience, in like years and years of networking, nobody's going to abuse you. Nobody's going to mistreat you. Nobody's going to put any physical threat on you. So very much the fear is like, okay, I'm walking into a room full of strangers and I don't know what to expect. What to expect is very simple. Some people will say, hey, what's your name? How do you do? What brings you here? What kind of business you are in? So it's useful to have rehearse in your mind, okay, what should I do when people ask me? And this is very useful, particularly people that just changed career. I was a marketing manager for 15 years. The first time I walk into a room and people say, what do you do? I'm a business coach now. I have to remember that I'm a business coach. And then you go, oh, a business coach. What kind of business do you work with? So you need to be prepared to answer these kind of questions. None of them is like shouldn't put you in any difficulty if you just changed career and you were working for a company in a certain position and all of a sudden you decided you become a massage therapist, like I suggest. Many of my therapists here say, okay, go to networking. In the worst case, people are going to ask you, what do you do? And you say, well, I help people with backache. Oh, how do you do that? Well, I'm a sports massage therapist. And most of the cases, these people come home with 2 or 3 business cards because people ask them to do it.
Is it not the fear that you'll get there and you're going to have to make the first step to approach somebody? That's pretty scary.
It is scary. Yeah, I appreciate that. And again, if you walk into a networking event, which wants to call itself networking event, and nobody walks toward you, maybe you're in the wrong room. Maybe you shouldn't go back there. Or maybe a simple way to overcome fear, which I have adopted and I still adopt nowadays, if I go to a new networking event, I don't know, is to be there as early as possible. Okay. Ideally before it starts, or a few minutes before it starts. Not too early, otherwise you might irritate the organizer who are still panicking. Oh, this is, we're doing this, we're doing that. So you don't want to be in the way. But one little trick, which I have taught quite a few people that come to, say, Pitch and Mix, which is one of the networking events I do, is if you don't know anybody, the best thing to do is walk in as soon as possible, hoping that the organizer is there. So what you do is you go in and introduce yourself. And you literally go there and you say, hi, I'm Massimo. I'm new to this. I've never been here. You're the organizer. Yeah, good to meet you. What kind of people? So you can ask 2 or 3 questions without being too intrusive. The good thing about that is that you are already there when, say, guest number 2 turns up, who might be in your same situation, but when he or she turns up, sees you talking to the organizer, so he doesn't know whether you just met 2 minutes ago. So you are already not the latest person arriving and nobody knows you. And if the person who comes in knows the organizer will say, oh, hey, Joe, how you doing? This is Massimo. He's new here. And you have already somebody to talk to.
Okay.
Alternatively, if this person is new as well, the introduction will be there. And you are 2 rookie at this new networking event and you have something in common. So you can start having a chat with this person. So when the other people arrive, you're not going to be like, oh my God. Yeah. The worst is, well, a lot of people do when I organize networking events. They don't know the place, they don't know anybody, never been there, and they turn up late or slightly late. So there is a room full of strangers, 20, 30 people, and they walk in. And there is where the panic starts because you say, and now what? Who am I going to talk to? And again, if you're in the right networking event, somebody might spot you and say, oh, that is a new guy or new lady, come in and have a chat with us. But in many cases, people get scared. I've seen people coming in a pitch and mix, arriving late, sitting themselves at the bottom of the room, at the back of the room, and then leave after 15 minutes because they couldn't bear. And in general, I try to be welcoming. But what happens is, you've been there. The agenda runs for 45 minutes. After the agenda starts at 9:15, I don't want to interrupt to welcome someone who was supposed to be there quarter to 10, a quarter to 9. So I say hi, and that's about as much as far as I go. So
don't be late.
Don't be late. The point is, in my opinion, in my experience, as I've done networking, be there early, stay there until the last person is leaving. That's the best way. The next time you turn up, the organizer will remember you very well. Hey, they call you by name. Massimo, how you doing? Long time no see, my friend.
Yeah.
So the second time you turn up already is not your first time. You already met the organizer because that person has spoken to you at length before and maybe after the party or after the networking event. You might even offer, oh, can I help you to pack up? So will make a difference. You're not an anonymous person turning up, say hi and leaving. You are a person that they have met and spoken to for minutes, and that makes a difference.
And